Hi everyone, long time no see. I'm just making sure that the camera's recording. I've never recorded a YouTube video with this phone. Long story, got a new phone. My old one, the charging port broke. The pins inside that you normally, stick the charger into broke off completely. And I didn't know where the pins went until I tried to use one of my chargers, and I couldn't, and I was very confused. And it's because the pins aren't inside the charger, so that charger's basically broken now. I can't use that charger anymore. Anyway, uh, it has been quite some time. I said I would continue filming in college, and I have kind of, but it's been busy, and I don't have time to go anywhere and go shopping, which is good for my wallet, but I work way less. I do work just 3 hours a week, but way less than I used to, which is about 20 to 28 hours a week when I worked at Kroger. That would be insane to do right now because I have so much stuff to do outside of class in college. To recap, for those of you who are new, also, it has been a long time. I planned to be an English major and an education minor. Yeah, that's how it works. If you want to teach at the high school level, you have to major in whatever subject you want to teach. I really, really love English. I have a pin on my backpack that says English majors, doing it for the money, because it's a joke, because we don't make that much money. Just in general. As teachers, in life, like, what does an English major? It's like an art major. You can't do too much with it. But I've loved chemistry ever since I took honors chemistry in my sophomore year of high school. I had 2 years of chemistry because my school was fortunate enough to have an AP program, which is a college program, and it was amazing. I loved it so much. I know I'm rambling, but I know that you guys who watch like to hear some talk, some chit chat. If you don't, then came to the wrong place, unfortunately. But anyway, I'm thinking of switching. I actually planned on double minoring, so two minors, education, because I have to minor in education, obviously, to become a teacher. Interestingly, to become a professor at a college or university, you do not have to study education, which explains a lot. My professors are great. One of them is not so great. I'll explain that in a second. Um, but I know I've heard stories, you hear things, you read things. Some professors are terrible, and that, not the fact that they don't actually study to become an educator, it makes sense. But, anyways, I'm thinking of switching my major to chemistry. See, my plan was I wanted to double major in English and chemistry, but that's just basically impossible to do in 4 years because I want to become a teacher in both. I'm a person who likes to do a lot of different kinds of things. I love all kinds of things. I liked all my subjects in high school, in elementary school, middle school, whatever. I just liked everything. Um, and I was very dissatisfied just thinking, oh, I'm going to be an English teacher, or I'm going to be a blah, blah, blah teacher. Just thinking of only being a teacher in one thing just made me sad. So I was thinking, all right, if I'm up to it, I'll finish an English degree, and then I'll go back for 2 more years because I only need 2 years max, I think, to get a chemistry degree. That's why I'm doing a chemistry minor now, so I can major in chemistry later and already have like half of the major done by getting a minor. So it only takes 6 years total. That sounds a little crazy. Also, it's expensive. The school I go to is not cheap. I do have most of my tuition covered. Not all of it, just more than half, which is good enough. Good enough. I'm thinking of switching to a chemistry major because honestly, I'm taking a chemistry class this semester. I have no English classes this semester because I took two college level English courses in high school, and so that puts me at a higher English level. And they didn't offer those courses this semester, basically. Not at times that fit into my schedule. So I haven't taken any English classes at all yet here in college, despite being an English major, anticipated major. But haven't technically declared yet because it's first semester of my freshman year. So, getting back to what I was saying, I'm in a chemistry course, and I've already learned a good majority of the material thanks to the AP chemistry course that I took in high school. My professor's fine. He's funny. He has a kind of dry sense of humor, but I appreciate that. The rest of my classmates do not. It's pretty clear. And he's kind of, so I loved chemistry in high school. My two chemistry teachers were fantastic. They're amazing. They're some of the best educators, I think, in the world, truly. They were just so enthusiastic about their subject. They helped kids love chemistry. When I left high school, I learned that the majority of people hate chemistry. But in my school, people love chemistry. You are on the outside. You're an outlier. You're in the minority if you don't like chemistry in my school. It's just how good they were. We had one of the best chemistry science departments, I think, in the country. Like, our teachers go to national conferences and present and learn new ideas. They're just constantly innovating and learning and trying to be better. That's why they're so amazing. My current chemistry professor is just okay. He's not amazing, but he's fine. And thankfully, because I've learned everything before, basically, I'm not really struggling in the class. I have an A, but other people are struggling. So we have some of my classmates banded together and did a study session recently because we just had our midterm. Not really, it was just a test, but it's midterm right now. So we have fall break coming up on Monday and Tuesday. So if you add the weekend onto that, that is 4 days of break. I've heard of some schools with 1 to 2 week breaks. We're not one of those schools, but it's fine. We have a long winter break. It's from like December 12th. That's the last day of exams to January like 5th or something. So it's a pretty long winter break. You see, how long have I been recording? Oh my god, 7 minutes. Okay, I'm just gonna upload this as just a chit chat video. I'm not gonna include the haul because I know people who want to see the clothes don't want to like hear all this all the time. I got a haircut today, actually. I didn't, so it's Friday. My classes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays end at 11:35 in the morning. And so 11:35, I was like, yay, fall break. And I wanted to get a haircut over fall break. My hair, as you may remember from previous videos, it was about down to my shoulders. I got a haircut in August. I've had long hair for 2/3, 4/5 of my life. It's just annoying to take care of. I'm a lazy person. What can I say? I mean, I work hard in school, but like in some things, I'm lazy, and my hair is one of them. I have thick hair. Every hairdresser I've ever been to comments on that. I just have really thick hair, and it's very obvious when like it's humid or I just got out of the shower and my hair is just dried. It just poofs everywhere. I'm like Hermione Granger from Harry Potter. But it wasn't cut short enough back in August. Like, I asked for it to be. Actually, really, I was terrible at communicating. So, like, my hairdresser did fine. It looked fine, but it grew out a little bit in the past 2 months, and it was like itching the back of my neck. It's like, okay, time to get it fixed. So I got it cut to the length I wanted originally. It's not quite as stylish as I wanted it. Like, it's, I don't know, just when you see pictures online, you know, they're just like so fancy looking. But my hair is really thick. I don't have any color in it. I don't have highlights or anything. It's just natural color. That's all it's always been. Also, it's cheaper to, you know, use your natural color. So that's why it doesn't look as cool. I also kind of want layers, like a sharp, you know, long in the front, short in the back. Not long, but longer in the front. And every hairdresser I've been to, they always cut it even when I ask for layers. And I'm just like, you know what, I don't want to. I was at the hairdresser for over an hour, and I was just like, I want to leave now. It looks good. It's just not how I wanted it to be exactly. And I know the customer's always right, blah, blah, blah. But I just kind of, it's better. It's better than it was. So I'm just happy for now. Next time I go get a haircut, I'll try to put myself out there a little bit more and be like, hey, this is exactly how I want it. Please do it this way. I went off on a tangent. I did not fully explain what I wanted to say. So, we had a study session, people in my class, and I didn't need to go. I have an A in the class. I would have an A plus if not for the fact that I sometimes make silly mistakes, like put numbers in the calculator wrong, so my answer's a little bit off, kind of things like that. I don't have any, like, I understand everything. It's easy for me to do. It's just kind of annoying, and I make mistakes occasionally. That's why I don't have an A plus. But I really didn't need to go, but I went because I want to be a teacher. And I noticed that my classmates have been struggling, and I've helped some fellow classmates before during class when we're like we have labs, you go into the chemistry lab, doing some experiments, and we have questions to answer and calculations to do, and sometimes people just get stuck and they don't want to go to my professor because he's a nice guy. It's just like kind of awkward. It's not really approachable. He's kind of, you're like, I don't want to. One of my classmates explained it like this. He can't dumb it down enough. It's just up here, and he just doesn't understand, apparently, when people don't understand. Like, there's just this gap of understanding, like, people who've never taken chemistry before are down here, and he's way up here because he's a professor who's been teaching for almost 30 years, and it's just kind of hard to bridge the gap sometimes. So I've been helping some of my classmates out just a little bit here and there in class on assignments, just giving my guidance, and that feels really good. Like, I wanted to be a teacher. I've done some like teachery things before, like mentoring younger students back in high school, and at the study session, I spent a lot of the session, like about half of it, just like explaining how to do the problems, because we were working on a practice exam, explaining how to do the problems, explaining why things were the way they were, like how I got the answer, why that's the answer, like the concepts behind it and everything, just like doing like these little mini lessons, these reviews. It just felt amazing, and I just love chemistry. My shirt actually says science. It's like magic, but real. And many people have mistaken me for a science major because I'm taking calculus, chemistry, philosophical perspectives in education. That's always a mouthful, and American history. American history is, just a general education requirement, but I really enjoy it. My professor's awesome. Philosophical perspectives in education. People, I think, sound impressed when I say that, but it's kind of annoying to say, so I just call it a philosophy in education normally. It's amazing. I love the professor, love the class. The professor's actually my advisor, just kind of a temporary advisor. Eventually, I'll get an advisor in my major. He's an education guy, obviously, but thankfully, I will get to keep him as an advisor, just he'll be my education advisor. I'll have a different main advisor for whatever I decide to major in. And the point I was trying to get to, I think I'm going to be a chemistry major. Like, I wanted to major in English initially because I love to write. I keep journals. Like, here are 2 journals that I've filled up since I came here. And this one, I started this one back in, like, April, so this has got like April through September, so it's not as impressive as it looks. But I filled up these journals since I got here. I want to write books when I not necessarily when I grow up, just like at some point. Like, I've tried writing things before, and I've gotten there's something that I wrote that has like 100 pages so far, but it's very choppy. It's not like a full coherent story. I just kind of wrote what I got in my head, like, if that makes sense. No, that doesn't really make sense. I just kind of wrote scenes down. They're not in order, like, it's not chronological order, like boom, boom, boom. It's just kind of all over the place. I don't know if I'm ever going to do anything with it, but it was good practice. Like I said, I just love English. English teachers were always some of the teachers I was closest to. My 6th grade language arts teacher really inspired me to become a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher since kindergarten because I always thought school was fantastic. But yeah, she just was amazing. I'm still in contact with her. Yeah, but I love English. I still love English. I think, see, as it stands, projected or anticipated English major with chemistry and education double minor, but I think I'm going to switch. I mean, like, I have a science shirt, but I don't have an English shirt. Maybe my subconscious is trying to tell me something. Like, I could have searched, like, I bought this online. It's from teepublic.com, T-E-E, public. Not sponsored or anything, just in case you want to get this for yourself or others in your life. And they have a bunch of different t-shirt designs. They're just a t-shirt company, and they print on demand. For whatever reason, I bought a science design, but I didn't even look for an English-related design. So I might switch chemistry and education chemistry and English. I always get so tongue-twisty when I speak really fast. so that I will be a chemistry major with an education and English double minor. See, the thing is, that's kind of unfortunate because I was already ahead in English because I have 8 English credits from high school already. So that's 2 classes down. 2 classes in my major already done from high school. Whereas chemistry, even though I did take college chemistry in high school, I didn't pass the exam because it's a notoriously difficult exam. And anyways, my teacher advised everyone, regardless of score on the exam, to take chemistry again in college because all chemistry professors teach things slightly differently. And yep, things have been taught slightly differently than I learned in high school. And we learn things about like how to work in a lab that you don't learn in high school because we don't have the money or time to do labs, like full chemistry experiments that take labs take 3 hours. In high school, you do not have 3 hours. You have a 45-minute class period at my high school, and if you're doing a lab, you have at most 35 minutes to do it because you take 5 minutes to set up and 5 minutes to clean up at the least. So labs were very simple, and you didn't have a lot of equipment or anything super dangerous, but in college you can have dangerous things and lots of fancy equipment. So you learn how to use a lab in college, which you don't do in high school, things like that. And college professors can go into more depth, or they have different preferences for calculations or whatever. So I'm not ahead in chemistry, is what I'm trying to say here. I'm just on par for the course, just normal. I'm not ahead, not behind. Actually, I'm ahead a little bit, just in terms of like I already understand everything, but I'm not ahead in terms of I'll graduate early or anything like that. Not that I would have with English or anything. 2 classes is not going to get me out any earlier. It just makes things smoother. But there's going to be a major fair, major, minor, whatever fair next week. No, 2 weeks, because next week is the week we have the Monday and Tuesday fall break. So it's not that week; it's 2 weeks from now. That's when the majority of freshmen, if we feel ready, that's when people start declaring their majors. So I think I'm gonna declare a chemistry major. I just feel like, who am I? Who have I become? But even though my professor is just meh, I just love chemistry so much. Like, I just enjoyed teaching my classmates during that study session chemistry, and chemistry is so beautiful. And it doesn't hurt that, STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, math, anything related to STEM is just like, there are jobs, I don't want to say like there are a bunch of them out there, but it's way easier to get a job if you're like a scientist than an English major. So, there's always teacher shortages somewhere in the country, and Ohio has teacher shortages, but especially science and math teachers, those are in demand. Like, for example, the English department at my school, like, this teacher had been teaching for almost 40 years, and then when she retired, our librarian was finally, who had worked as the librarian for 5 years, finally was able to move up as an English teacher. He'd wanted to be an English teacher originally, but there just wasn't any job, so he had to work as a librarian. No offense to librarians, like, sometimes that is a career for people. Like, our current librarian, she's a career librarian. That's what she wants to do. She has a master's in library sciences, but he didn't want to be a librarian. He just ended up there. But if I'm a science teacher, I can just get a job right out of college. Some people, like, some alumni came back during homecoming weekend, and one of them got a job right out of graduation. Like, they had a job secured before graduation. That's how in demand science jobs are. And it makes me really sad that people hate chemistry because of their teachers were just bad. Like, chemistry helps people understand the world on, like, a little atomic, molecular, microscopic level. Like, if you know things about how the atoms work and behave, you can predict what like these liquids or gases or solids do, and that's amazing. Like, atoms are just like they're so small you can't even we as humans really can't comprehend how small they are. They're like grains of sand to like the sun. I don't know if that's actually accurate, but it works. Um, and just knowing how these little grains of sand work, so to speak, um, you can predict how the big things work. How long have I been talking? Oh my gosh, 20 minutes. That is a record, I think. Um, I think I'm gonna stop talking now, but I'm going to talk to my advisor um, before I make any decisions. But unfortunately, he's gonna be out next week, um, so I can't talk to him. I mean, he'll be there. It's just professors have specific office hours, and on Tuesday that's fall break. Thursday, he's out. And the only other office hour day that he has is Wednesday, and I have a class when he has his office hours, so I can't go. So I'll just wait until 2 weeks from now. Um, Actually, the earliest I can see him is the same day as the major fair, so that's convenient, I guess. Same day. Um, and I want to talk to him before I go and declare my majors. We'll see how that works out. Probably am going to declare a chemistry major. I've been walking around telling people that I'm an English major, and I just feel like an English major at heart. Like, I'm just such an artsy person. Like, I love to read and write. I'm in the choir. Oh, by the way, I did audition for a choir back in September, and I got in, and I thought, oh, whatever. It's a selective choir. So I was like, whoa, I probably would have been too stressed out, too shy to audition if I knew it was selective. But yeah, apparently a bunch of people were cut. Like, oh, it's kind of a big deal. Now there's a choir, like, there are two choirs. There's like the big choir that goes and tours, like they're the, you know, elite choir. My choir, while still selective, is not the elite choir. We do not tour, we just stay here. But that's fine, because if I had to go tour, then I would have to miss a week of classes, which sounds fun, but then it's super stressful. So yeah, I'm good. I don't have to, because I'm not in the elite choir. Honestly, I don't think my voice is good enough for it. That's why I didn't get in, obviously. That'd be super stressful. I didn't even think I would be able to get into any kind of selective choir, so I feel really good about that. But yeah, I'm super artsy. I love music. I love to sing. I used to play the flute back in middle school. But I also love science, and I think just economically, um, chemistry is the way to go. Like, that's where the jobs are. Um, and I can go back to school. I actually probably don't even have to go back to school. I just need to. You don't necessarily need a major in the subject that you're teaching, but you do have to, like, there are alternative pathways. But you do have to pass a licensure test. So I think I'll get my licensure in chemistry, major in chemistry, yada yada. And then later, maybe if I really feel English calling to me, I can do an alternative pathway to English licensure. Although the problem with my original plan is that teachers don't teach two different subjects in high school unless you have a really small, like, rural school, or just like a new agey hippie STEM school or something. You don't have teachers teaching multiple things, so it just wouldn't be practical anyway for them to get two different degrees. To teach two different subjects, so I think chemistry is really the way to go. Yeah, I've been thinking about it for months and months. I've been thinking about it since my junior year in high school, and I think I finally come to a decision. And really, I could feel like myself like solidifying my decision while I was sitting in like the hair salon, like getting my hair cut. I was like, this is just such a random moment to like make such a big life decision, but like I just feel like that is the right way to go. Like, I've had half a semester. I'm halfway through my first ever college chemistry course. I think I know that I love chemistry dearly. I gotta follow that. So, I'm gonna stop talking now. I said I was gonna stop talking like 5 minutes ago. Alright. I'll see you guys in a couple minutes, really, to film my haul. Ooh, so, with my new phone, everything's like in a slightly different position. So, see, I'm never looking at the camera because the camera's down here. And it's weird to look down there. I want to look at myself in the screen, so I'm never looking at the camera. But see you guys soon.